for August 25th, 2020, to order at 7 p.m. All members are from council are present except for Councilman Evers, who's absent excused. Present from the administration is our Mayor and Safety Director, Dennis Moore, our Law Director, Randy Clover, and our Police Chief, Larry Rice. Everyone else is absent and excused. If there's anyone recording this meeting as a courtesy to the public, please identify yourself so your fellow attendees know that they're being recorded. Seeing none, the city of Eastlake is recording this meeting. Under legislation proposed, we have legislation number 08-2501, a resolution for the creation of a shoreline special improvement district. Mr. Mayor.
This is the SID, which we call it, for the erosion on the lake. We've been working with the other 13 communities. We're at the point to do the engagement, and every committee or every community right now has at least one parcel that they have to do to stay contiguous, so we can form the SID. So the SID will start in Lloyd and end in Madison, and that area out there. Again, so this is an one's the engagement letter, the other one is forming the SID. After the SID is formed and our residents are meeting, then we will have one more piece of legislation on this. This will get the SID formed, so we can send out the other letters to our residents that apply. Right now, for all the communities, we had 140 people that have applied, with probably about going to be cost between $10 and $20 million in improvement to all their properties. So that's what this is for. This is what we've been working on for a year with the rest of the community.
Mr. Rizzo, next question.
Which anchor banks are the ones that you will be able to get loans from?
Right now, the front runner is in Erie. They have a couple of discussions with a couple other banks.
Okay.
And I have a question also. What's the time frame for them to apply to be included in SID?
It doesn't matter. Like right now, all they did is 3 apps, and we talked about this. We had American managers yesterday. I think once people start seeing it, once they start seeing it, people using it, we'll get more. There's no time frame.
So it's basically open-ended, correct?
Yeah, so and again, once there's so much money in with the bank, but they want to spend it, but as they said yesterday, they didn't even blink when they said $10 million or $20 million in banks were giving out the loans for the assessment. But I think once it's up and running and some of the other people that have not engaged yet will, probably start looking at it once everyone starts doing the work. In our city, a lot of our residents have already done the work. We still have others that want to do the work, that they're just waiting for to see, what they can. And from what we're told, the interest rate will be very, will be better than going to, doing your own equity line. So don't know the rate, but again, we should have that. We're looking towards September sometime. Once all the councils approve this, and then we'll go from there.
Other than what you're doing now, are there going to be emails or something?
Yeah, what we'll do is we all have emails and everyone is engaged with us, and we'll send out, and then we're going to try to have another meeting. So it's kind of difficult with all, communities on one Zoom call or whatever, so we're trying to figure out ways there's going to be a good way that we can possibly meet in person, and or, they'll work, because once the group is set up, then the city was basically out of it, and we form it as for the private residents. Yes. Yeah, they'll end up forming their own board, and then they'll be working with downtown. Does that answer that, Jason?
Yes. Anyone else have any questions for the mayor? Seeing none. Under legislation pending, we have legislation 07-14-12, an ordinance amending section 1167.15 dwelling, and legislation 07-14-13, an ordinance amending section 1167.60 rooming house. Mr. Mayor?
Just to clarify, this is amending dwelling unit and rooming house to address the Airbnb part.
And the key to that is, and we talked about it in the ordinance, was that Randy and Dave came up with would be with the two-family or multi-family, but not including hotels, rooming houses, any rental or lease for all portions of the building for a period of term less than 1 month is going to be illegal. And that's, again, some of the parties
Seeing none, council as a whole committee meeting adjourned at 7:05 p.m. Calling regular council meeting of August 25th, 2024 at 7:05 p.m. Mr. Pursuant, please lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Buchanan?
Here.
Mr. Fun?
Here.
Mr. Belli?
Here.
Mr. Overstreet?
Here.
Mr. Grant?
Here.
Mr. Mayor?
Here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda of the regular council meeting of August 25th, 2020? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Fun?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, the motion carried. I'm sorry? Good job, sir. Motion carried, the agenda is approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of July 14th, 2020? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Fun?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the special council meeting of August 6th, 2020?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Belli?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Mr. Fun?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, the motion is carried, the minutes are approved. The next scheduled council as a whole committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 8th, 2020 at 7 p.m. with the regular council meeting immediately following the adjournment of the council as a whole committee meeting. Your committee reports, we'll start with the ordinance committee meeting held since the last council meeting. Mr. Overstreet.
Yes, Mr. President. The council, the ordinance committee meeting just before this was to adopt language changes for 116715 and 116715, which are language changes, changing definitions. And with that, I'll open for questions.
Any questions for Mr. Overstreet? Seeing none. We also had an ECDC meeting since the last council meeting.
Thank you, Mr. President. We did have a ECDC meeting today at City Hall at 5:30. The discussion included a nonprofit meeting, which we will be holding the second Thursday of September. We announcing the location soon. We also discussed the pre-kids lunch program, which has been held at Will Praise Church since the end of March. The last day of this program is this Friday. We're going to have a tribute to Ohio Aviation with the Airplanes for Kids. Right now, the program is at 16,400 lunches served out of the community. And lastly, we discussed recognition for the restaurants and the fundraisers that kept the program going since March. And that concludes my report. Open for questions.
Any questions for Mr. Zark? Seeing none. We had a finance committee meeting. Mr. Evers is absent. We'll put that on for report on hold until the next meeting. And then we also had a port authority meeting. Mr. Smith?
Port authority meeting was on last Thursday. It was good news as far as the kayak ramp. People laughed when I said that would be a six-figure operation once it's up and running. Well, this year it was. They're already reporting $120,000 in revenue from that this year, which the Port Authority gets to keep 15%, so it's been a bigger deal for them. And so it's been financially a good year for the Port Authority. Also, there was a ordinance suggestion which I brought up in our ordinance committee, which involves removal of trees and whether residents should have to pay for the removal of trees that could cause obstruction in the river, because it ends up falling on the Port Authority to cover that cost. So I brought that up as other new business in the ordinance committee meeting today. And apart from that, I am open for questions.
Any questions for Mr. Smith? Seeing none. We'll move on to recognition of the public. The floor is now open for recognition of the public. Our line speakers, all remarks will be directed to the chair. They will not involve personalities and are limited to 3 minutes per person. 30 minutes total. The first people, signed to speak are Matthew and Thomas. Would you please step up and make sure you manage the record, please?
Do you want to go to?
The volume, please. Yeah, thank you.
I'm just here to ask for help. I have a neighbor that's feeding birds and feeding many birds. There's, 3 large bird feeders, 2 stood. Then we have like a 6-foot bird cage, and he puts them next to my fence. We just had a fence put up like 3 years ago, trying to keep, I've been complaining about this for about 4 years. And I'm getting animals now. I had a raccoon climbing up over, it actually got on top of the bird cage. And luckily I was still in the house. And the thing was looking over the fence at me, and it must have gotten, the thing was this big. It was huge. And then I had, skunks. There's many skunks, and we have bitches. And they're eating in the middle of the night. You should see there's like 4 of them over there at night. And I'm smelling this all night long. I'm afraid to go from my garage to my house. I'm afraid I'm going to get murdered by one of them. Because they crawl, you know how they go along the fences, and they go in. I put mothballs down. I've gotten, owls. I bought 4 owls. I bought a, bird. I plugged that, nothing's working. And he thinks it's funny. I don't think it's funny. Because I don't want to live like that. I don't want mice in my house. There's chipmunks, they're not even afraid of me. In my yard, they have big jaws of bird feed, and they're coming out of the fence, across my yard, and going into the other yard. And can we get an ordinance or something? I can't be, I'm not the only person.
Give me your address, you talk building.
Yeah.
Okay, just, you leave me the address where the complaint is, and I'll talk to them.
172 Parkway, ours is 176. And
172 is where the issue is?
Yeah. He's got a yard, I don't know, with 6 acres. There's bird feed, like, all the way across the yard. There's skunks at night, it's like bad.
In addition, I know we don't have anything on the books that covers anything to do with bird feeding on your own property. Any type of lights, like you're going over your house to your garage, it's illuminated, a skunk or a raccoon. If they stay within the light, you should call the police department anyway, because that's not natural tendency. Because the light will scare them away, and if they're out during the day or anything like that, the chipmunks and stuff like that, they're both, you'll see them during the day and night. But anyway, raccoons or skunks, definitely call us if they're out during the daytime hours.
Yeah.
And we can look at that.
Yeah. Because I've actually had people from the city come, and she couldn't believe it. She was like, I cannot believe it. She goes, I would never want to look like this. It was that,
It's our police chief here, so if you want to say it, if you're seeing those animals during the day,
They just call them now, emergency,
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, hold up, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to address council at this time? Okay, seeing none, will clerk please read legislation number 08-25-01.
A resolution approving a petition for the creation of a county special improvement district and for the levy of special assessments for shoreline improvement projects and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring separate reading to read the full? Is there a second?
Second.
Will clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Spahn?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Move to adopt. Is there a second?
Second.
Will clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Spahn?
Yes.
Mr. Katsounis?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 07-14-12?
An ordinance amending section 1167.15 dwelling of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules requiring second reading to read? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spawn?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Zern?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spawn?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Zern?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, the legislation is adopted. Will the clerk please read legislation number 07-14-13?
An ordinance amending section 1167.60, rooming house of the codified ordinances of the city of Eastlake and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to suspend the rule requiring second reading to read? Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spawn?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Zern?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Spawn?
Yes.
Mr. Overstreet?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Zern?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes, the motion is carried, legislation is adopted. We have no unfinished business, we have no new business. Move on to administrative reports. Our first report is from our mayor, safety representative. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks, Pat, and the city, that would be a good thing for our residents on the lake. First of all, as you're all aware, our CBO, Dave Menz, and his wife were in a horrific auto accident on Saturday, so keep them both in our prayers and your thoughts for them both to have a good recovery. Also, today, both Washington and Taft did sell in their auctions from through the Eastlake School District. So obviously we've gotten to call the developer has already reached out to me. We set up a meeting to discuss with them what their plans are for both properties. We do have, and we've been working on where our senior center would go. As you know, we looked at one property in the city. We're also looking at our community center for where the senior center can go. Also, we would been working with the food bank for where they would end up being. They would probably be in our at the stadium in the old visitors bureau. Talking about that. So before Dave's accident, and I ended up getting some of the information today. I was working on the community center. There's some plans for construction and different things in there. So we will continue to move. When I do talk to the developer and ask them, what their time frame is for us to be out of school, and then we will continue with the senior center. Actually, meeting with the county next week with the West End here, talk about some of the senior centers, what some of their thoughts are, and then we're going to meet as a whole, the mayor's managers with the county to talk about senior centers. The state did come out with the senior centers to open on the 21st. We do not have any of the information. And as we, from everything else, the state is open, there's obviously going to be a lot of different things. And, basically everything that's been open has been so many constraints, it's been tough to open a lot of things. That's why you didn't see a lot of cities open schools this year and everything. So, with the COVID, we will continue to work through all those issues. We're going to have a pre-construction meeting on Wednesday, December 2nd for Galena Phase 2 to get the storm sewers in. Obviously, finally, after 19 months of overrun, that Phase 1 is complete, we will start Phase 2. Stevens Boulevard on the west side, you see that they're working on the other side of the road. One side is complete. They're working on the catch basins and all that. That will, the time frame for that is the end of beginning of November to finish, weather pending, and once they start digging up from Jackie all the way to Lake Shore, if there's any issues there. I will get some more information when they will start the east end from 91 to the Woolly border on Stevens Boulevard. Tom and his group is talking to CC Construction, see when that's gonna start. And that right now, again, I mean, I've been keeping you guys updated with COVID. The county, we meet, the nurse managers meet every Tuesday, we're following call, and our numbers have been good, having spikes. So, obviously, we're all hoping that COVID goes away and 2021 is a much better year for everyone. So, that concludes my report, and I'm open for questions.
Are there any questions for the mayor? Okay, now we'll move on to our police chief,
The only thing I have at this point is just that a reminder the schools are opening up on Monday. Working with the schools and hopefully we'll have a seamless opening and we'll have officers as well as the high school, middle school. And hopefully this will be adapting and setting for alarm. If there's any issues or questions, feel free to reach out. Well, we want to remind drivers that kids will be out there for buses and to be extra careful as they're driving in their own neighborhoods. That's all I have. Open for questions.
Mr. Zerb?
I have a question, actually for, Blair, but I guess Mayor. Do you know anything about, Longfellow and access from Stevens to Longfellow? Or are they gonna have to enter the school from the street behind the school? I know they're working on.
They haven't contacted us, in fact, we usually go through my neighbor and two chiefs, and we haven't heard anything different from the academy they had last year.
They don't have one. It will remain one way, so when the cars will only be able to go right until that's all done, but they can, access, you're gonna have access off of 91, they're not gonna be able to come down from the west and go west on Stevens, so that's gonna be the adaptation they're gonna have to make until that part of the street's done. But they're moving right along, and we're hoping that, short term, Stevens from 91 to Willow Drive will be completed, and then that will all open up.
Yeah, the discussion we've had with the CODOT running that job. So the discussion that they asked if it's okay with, that they get the jack and start opening, getting done all the way to Jackson. Well, that will take care of the front north and front Longfellow here hopefully in the next few weeks. And then we shouldn't have any issues there. And then obviously when they start to work all the way to the shore.
Okay.
So yeah, if we find anything else out, I'm calling you guys, email, talk to that. For an update.
I have one question for the police chief. Just, chief, this one, I'm sorry. I want to talk about the break-in and just reminder for folks to lock their stuff up and that kind of thing, and arrest them.
Yeah, we posted that on Facebook today, and, you know, every couple months, most communities go through the same thing, and a lot of cars are entered, but the ones that are entered are always left unlocked. The smartest thing to do is to not keep valuables in your car and lock it. You're gonna keep it unlocked, definitely don't keep valuables in your car. And locked or unlocked, don't leave your keys in your car. Cars that have been taken all had the keys inside, so we're trying to just remind people, get into good, safe, crime-preventing habits. And, the guys are out there looking, it's just with 2 or 3 guys, you're not sure of the areas of the city, until, unfortunately, the next day when you start getting the calls. But hopefully with the ring cameras and, security systems and things like that, we encourage people to call us if they hear or see anything at 3 o'clock in the morning. Our biggest, reoccurring statement sometimes the next day is people say they don't want to bother us. But just like calling us at 10 o'clock in the morning, it's no different of a response than it is at 3 o'clock in the morning. So we can target, that area and hopefully, put a stop to that.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief? Seeing none, we'll move on to our law director, Randy Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just, we have a backup, CBO in place that we use from time to time in the past, and I know that buildings lean on him, but if you have, any board questions that are building related, certainly just send them to me, and
and Randy's checking in every day at noon. I forgot to say that in our report. Willie and Willick have reached out to me if we need any help, for any inspections. They're willing to send people out to help. So, we met with the building department on Monday. We pretty much had it all set. Obviously Dave's a big part of the department, and we will, do the best we can in between until he returns. So, we're looking forward to it. Like I said, with Menor and Willie especially, they both have the full capacity like we have with the commercial especially. Right now, we don't have a lot of commercial going on. The Dave is also doing all the site plans and have a lot of new homes being built. We'll work through it and get through it. So, we have a backup. It's usually here when Dave's either, when he had his knee surgery, we have backup, and then when he's on vacation. So, so far, so good for the first 2 days this week.
Any other questions, Mr. Carmen? Mr. Zerman, do you have something?
Two things I'd like to bring up to council. The first one is, there's a resident who has emailed concerns regarding commercial vehicles and grass clippings going into the street, cars blocking driveways, and he emailed that he wanted the issue of repeated or fines for repeated violations to be brought up as a possible ordinance meeting or in a possible future ordinance meeting. I just want to bring that up to council.
Chief, I mean, we could already fine for non-repeated violations. We just need to know, preferably if somebody calls, they have a landscaper or the homeowner is doing the lawn cutting, and they know this person never cleans up after themselves. They call us the next time when that same person's cutting. That would be our time to make that inquiry, get it on the record. Typically, we would give a warning first to make sure that the person's aware of the issue, and sometimes it's just, some people find, some people are just inconsiderate. But to get that first thing on record, I think helps us so we don't deal with the other half who don't want the law, that we weren't fair in our the way we administer it. So if they have that problem, that's what I would encourage them to do, or they can reach out to me directly, and I'll, help them out.
Okay, thank you. And the other thing I would just like to mention is at Eastlake, VFW Post 3863 on Vine Street. This Sunday is their breakfast. It's from 9 to 12. It's only $5, and it is a great way to support our local veterans and local VFW. Thank you.
Anything else? Saying nothing. Meeting adjourned at 7:29 p.m.
Have a good night. Thank you.